Hello everyone, this is a short video on logarithmic functions and how to solve equations involving logarithmic functions. So let's look at the first example. As you can see, you have two different bases. We have a 2 here and a 3 here. Usually there is a formula that can convert one base to another. If you remember in one of the previous videos. For this one, there is an easier trick to use. We can notice that 9 is actually a power of 3, and we can represent 9 as 3 squared. So let me just do this, and this would be our first step. So we have now logarithm with a base of 3 of 3 squared. For our next step, we can remember the logarithmic power rule. We have a power 2 here, and we can take that power and pull it all the way out of the logarithm, which will result into like I said, the 2 times log 3 of 3. So on our next step, we notice that we have this logarithm here, the base matches. So we can use the base rule. Which will cancel out to 1. So log 3 of 3, thanks to the base rule, we can simplify to 1. And on our next step, we'll just multiply 2 and 1. And now we're only left with one logarithmic function. So for this step, you probably already know how to proceed from here. We can remember that we can rewrite the inverse function of logarithm, which is exponential function, and we can just switch the base. So when we do that, we get the base here 2 to be the power of these 2 based on the formula that if we have a logarithm, we can rewrite it as an exponential function. So now we just need to simplify this, and our next step would be to do 2 squared, which is 4, and add 7 to both sides. And our last step would be, like I said, adding 7 to both sides and having the result is 11. So that was it for the first question. So let's continue with our second example. For this one, we only have one logarithmic function, and this is the natural logarithm. If you guys remember, this is just logarithm with a base e. So what we need to do to solve for x is to remember that we can again use the conversion from logarithmic function to an exponential function. So basically, because the base here is e, we can just put the argument be equal as the base e to the power 3 using the following formula. So this is the log that we have. Our base in this case is e, and then we can do e to the third. And we'll just get x squared plus 1 equals e to the third, which now the next step would be to subtract 1 from both sides. And we'll just have the result x squared equal to x to the third minus 1. And we'll need to just to take the square root from both sides. And again, remember, when you're taking even root, you always need to have a positive and negative in front of the square root. So we're going to have two solutions. The first one would be square root of e to the third minus 1, and the second one would be negative square root of e to the third minus 1. And if you plug in those two numbers into a calculator, you'll see that they have a decimal value, which is 4.36 and negative 4.36. That is for this video. Thank you.